140. And first you're going to load in a text object. So the way you do that, you're going to click on MoGraph and then go down to text object. And then you're going to type in your text right here in the bottom right. I'm going to make mine say outline. And then go down to align, and you're going to align it to the middle so it's centered. And when you're outlining text, it's easier if you choose a font that has more squares, like more straight lines in it, and less curves. So I'm going to try to find one like that. And by the way, I get all my fonts from dafont.com, so check that out. So this is a pretty good font for that. This font is called Aromatics NC, and I got this one from what's it called? From dafont.com. So once you have your text loaded in, before you do any rotating of the angle button like that, before you do that, if you're going to be doing any project where you're going to be rotating the angle, you might want to load in a camera and lock it at a certain point, on a certain view, and I'll show you how to do that, and because that way you don't have to re-rotate it into the same place. So the way you're going to do that, you're going to load in the camera, click on these 4 arrows, hold it down, and then go to camera. And now once you have your camera, you're going to click on the camera, and you're going to go to right of it where you see that little black button. It kind of looks like 4 little kind of arrows and then a black dot in the center. So just click that so that way you view what the camera sees. And go down to your timeline right here, and let's make the frames. I usually do anywhere from 180 to 250. So let's just do 210. So just type that in and press the return key. So now you see it as 210 frames, and that's how long your animation is. If your frame rate is 30, which it usually is, then that's going to be a 7-second animation. So you're going to take this bar and you're going to click the right arrow and you're going to drag it all the way out so you can see your entire timeline that goes from 0 to 210. So the way you lock on your view of the camera, you're just going to choose a good view that you like. This is a perfect view, just straight on, centered, everything. So make sure you click on your camera and go to 0 on the timeline and click the keyframe button. And then go to the end of your timeline. You can do a little zoom out if you want, but that's not really the point. The point is just keep it the way it is and click a keyframe, which is this button right here, the little red button. So now, it doesn't really, you're going to think, well, what was the point of adding 2 keyframes? Well, the point is, now when you go to your text object, let's say you want to rotate it some crazy way, or like that, just to see the side of it. If you want to get, and you don't want to have to rotate it all the way back to the view you were just at a second ago. You want to just keep it, you want it to automatically snap back to the view you were viewing it at. So, just as an example, rotate it in some crazy way. And then when you click, once you click on the timeline, it automatically snaps back to where you just had it. So if you want to try that again, zoom out all the way, just rotate it some crazy direction. All you have to do is click on the timeline, and you're back at where you started. So that's just a convenient little trick to learn, but I don't want to get too off topic for the tutorial, so let's really quickly make some nice text. Click back on your text object, and for the depth, I like making it about square, kind of, if that makes any sense, so the depth is the same as the height. So, looks like about there, but it's really up to you. The depth doesn't matter that much, but I just make it somewhere close to this, like not too thin and not too thick. Then click, see, I just rotated to see how big the depth was. If I just click back on my timeline, it's already back. You can go to your caps, and you're going to want a start cap, fillet cap, and an end cap, fillet cap. And the radius, depending on how large your text is, and how zoomed in the camera is. Just use your best judgment. Just don't make it anything too crazy. I'm going to put it at 3. And for the fillet type, I usually just keep it at convex, but it's up to you guys. So now I really just want to get to the main point. Once you have some basic text, how to do the outline. So, oops. Forget, don't repeat what I just did. Alright, so go to the top right where my mouse is, if you can see that. And click on this little square with a little black tab at the top of it, it looks like. And that will bring you to 4 different views. You have the same view, which is perspective. You have a top view, which is locked on like an aerial view. You have a front view, which is pretty much the same as this perspective you already have. And you have a right view. The view you want to use for doing an outline is the front view. So to go to that view, click on this little white and gray square right here, and that will bring you into that view. Alright, so for outlining it, what you're going to do, you're going to click on this like spline button right here, and you're going to hold down and go to the bezier. So once you're in that mode, you're going to zoom in a bit on your text, and pretty much what the bezier is, it's just like playing connect the dots. So just click the first point. This is just creating your outline. So just click there, click there, click there, and it's really easy. And then say you messed up on a point, like clicking over there, you can just drag it right down. So that's just pretty much how you outline it. And I'll just outline the whole thing because it's pretty quick. But I'm going to do kind of a sloppy job because I don't want it to take too long. But if you guys are following along, it's pretty easy. You just click where you want the points to be. And then you can move it down also. I tried doing a curve, but it kind of got messed up. But if you guys want to know how to do curves, just kind of like click on a point and hold it and then drag it upwards or downwards like that. Whenever I do it, it always gets messed up. Like the next point I click isn't straight for some reason. So I'm not really sure how to solve that. But this is good because this one's already a pretty straight outline without many curves. So take your time. You can pause it right here or whatever so you have some time to outline it. Because after I'm done doing this quick little outline, I'm going to show you guys how to make it 3D and also how to animate your text to rotate into the outline. So this is coming along pretty nice. I'm not going to fill in all the little cracks. I'm just going to try to get a rough outline for the sake of this tutorial. I would take more time when doing an actual intro. If you're interested in buying an intro, just as a little side note, check out our new video where we have the prices for an intro. So I'm almost done with this outline. Just a bit sloppy on that one right there, but just a tutorial. And when you're on your last point about to connect it to the first one, you have to click exactly on the dot, exactly on the first dot, and there you go, you're done. So pause the video here and then play it once you're done with your own outline, so you're at the same point as me. So once you're done, guys, you're going to go back to the 4 views. So click this button right here on the top right to view those 4 views, and you're going to go back to the first one you were at, the one in the top left. So just click on that same button right here in the top, in the kind of the center of the whole screen, but the top right of this little quadrant. So just click it right there, and I'll show you guys how to make this spline 3D. So you're going to click right here on this like box with a kind of sphere in it, and you're going to go to extrude NURBS, You guys are probably familiar with this, but in case you're not, show you how to do it. You're going to drag the spline towards the extrude NURBS until you get the down arrow with a box. So that way you're putting the spline into the extrude NURBS. And now you can see you already kind of have this outline. So see it has a little like minimize sign kind of. Just click that so it turns into a plus. So you're not editing the spline by accident. You're going to take that spline that you have and you're going to drag it back. I like dragging it back into the center, so I might want to do a side view. So just drag it so it's like kind of in the middle of the text almost, if you guys know what I mean, like that. And this is helpful again, since I'm kind of rotated in a crazy way. I don't want to have to reposition it. Just click on the timeline and your camera automatically locks back into place. So go to your extrude NURBS. Pretty much the same thing as editing a text object. You're going to go to your movement and then under object and then movement. This is where it says 20 feet. That's the same as your depth. So it doesn't really matter. It's pretty much good the way it is. For caps, you're going to do a start cap, a fillet cap, and an end cap, a fillet cap. And you're going to want to make the radius, it really depends on how big your outline is and how you like it, but I'm going to do 3, which I'm pretty sure is the same on the text. So let's just render this baby out. We need to add a light to do that because I have global illumination on, but I'm not really going to get into that. Just going to drag that light forward. And just a little helpful hint for you guys. What I like doing, for me, I have a pretty big computer, but you don't really need a big computer. If you want a quicker render, instead of rendering the whole main screen, just go into the 4 views and make sure you have the top right one clicked on, and then just render the top right quadrant. I guess I don't have global illumination on, but in general, if you do have global illumination on or something else, it's going to take a while to render and you want a quick render, just go to the 4 views and just render it like that. And it's a smaller view, but it's quicker and you don't really need the full view. So there we go. You have the outline, you have the text. I'm going to real quickly show you guys how to make this text rotate in, even though I already have a tutorial on that. I know some of you guys won't want to go check that out. So I'll just show you real quick how to have it rotate in. Or I'm not going to show you how to do each letter. I'm just going to do the whole text object as if it was one letter, because that'll take a long time to do the whole one. So what you're going to do, you're going to click on your text object. You're going to go to frame maybe 40 or 50. Let's do 50. So go to frame 50 in your timeline and click a keyframe. This is going to be your ending keyframe where the text is going to end up. And then go to the first frame in your animation, frame 0. And to get a better view, you're going to zoom out, scroll out like that so it's more zoomed out. And then you're going to click this rotator and you're going to rotate it to the left so you get kind of a side upper view like that, and zoom in a bit more. And once you have something that looks like this and you have your text object selected, you're going to take the blue arrow and you're going to drag it back and you'll see a little number. It depends where your camera is, but it's usually drag it up from 1,000, anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000, so let's do around 1,500. That looks good. As you can see, it's not seen by the camera. And just one little cool thing to make it more interesting to watch. Zoom out again so you can see the text that's coming in. And click the rotator. And make sure you are on frame 0 in your timeline. And you're going to click on the red, kind of the red thing. And you're going to drag it towards you like that. So it's rotated about 90 degrees. And then click the keyframe. So now you can watch your animation. You have the outline right here. If you play it, you can see the text just comes in.